Well, good evening, everybody. Hopefully, you all are doing fine. As you can see, we've got a full house of great fossils, and we are joined for the first time by Gold Key Geezer. Hello there, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're doing great. Dr. Silverage is here, Jambo
Okay.
Comics, and we have our foreign correspondent, Paulo Costa. It's always great to see you. And
Reporting for duty.
we are going to get started with a little bit more Kamandi action and a little bit of basically anything that's somewhat, what do you say, into the world, maybe some Planet of the Apes. You never know. But we don't have to be tied to Kamandi, but we're definitely going to give a lot of good Kamandi scans tonight. And this is kind of a part two of what I started earlier in the week with Shannon. And welcome aboard, everybody. We'll start with Paulo so that he can show us some Phantom, I believe. Is that what you're going to start with? Your Flash Gordon?
Well, I think I'm going to start with Flash Gordon. I brought in some of the scattered stuff that I have reprinting old comic strips. And I have memories of reading Disney comics at age 4. But I'm really not sure if that was my first contact with comics. My dad's newspaper used to carry 4 different comic strips, which were Winnie the Pooh, Agar the Horrible, the Phantom, and a British comic strip called Garth. And the Phantom was an instant favorite of mine. It was mostly because of the art. I thought that Cy Berry was fantastic, very, very expressive, very three-dimensional. And if there was one reason why a 4 or 5-year-old would want to pick up a newspaper, it was to read the Phantom.
I agree.
But first, I think I'm going to start with something else here. So let's go with...
Here's your big intro. He's our foreign correspondent. Paulo, take it away. We're going to put you on full screen.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So I'm going to start here with Flash Gordon. A few years ago, Checker Books tried reprinting Flash Gordon from the beginning. I don't know how far they got. I only got the first 2 volumes. But I suppose that for some purists, that's the one that matters. The original stuff by Alex Raymond starting in 1934. With Flash Gordon on the planet Mongo, here colorized. This is the stuff that all of our Golden Age favorites were copying. They were copying this. It was Alex Raymond, Bern Hogarth, Milton Caniff. They were the superstars that people like Jack Kirby and Will Eisner wanted to be. And
so, are you saying that's the first one ever, or the Portuguese printing of the first one ever?
No, this is a U.S. comic. So I didn't have that much Flash Gordon, but when this came out, I thought I wanted to start building up a collection of classic comic strips wherever I could. At the time, Checker published these Flash Gordons, that I thought it was a good idea to get them. But I also have one Portuguese comic here. Also, a couple of years ago, there was a facsimile edition collection that ran as Associated Sales on a normal magazine, and they reprinted some of our old comics that used to be on the newsstands in Portugal from the 1960s and 70s. This is Jornal do Couto, taking its name from a well-known at the time Spanish character. But on the cover we have Flash Gordon here in glorious black and white. By this time it was Dan Barry was working on the art. Let's see if we can pick this up. The thing is we can never show splash pages when talking about comic strips, because of course they were always ran horizontal. But here's some action and some space monsters. The thing is, even though Flash Gordon is kind of the symbol of science fiction comic strips, It wasn't the first. The first of its kind was the 1928 comic strip Buck Rogers, which was based on the novel featuring the same character. It went through several changes to get published, and it was Buck Rogers that ended up influencing the creation of Flash Gordon. But for Flash Gordon, there was the advantage that the syndicate didn't have to pay royalties to the author of the book. They just owned everything.
Well, that looks sharp. Now I kind of want one.
Mm-hmm. Actually, yeah. The thing is, this magazine also had other stuff in here. We have Flash Gordon up to page 15, and there's an article here on El Cap's brother, Elliot Kaplan. And then we have some. Actually, no, this one. I have a different one with some other different things. There's a Prince Valiant strip here on the back page.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Do you like this? What else do we have here? Okay, so I wanted to show some Johnny Hazard because I have two Johnny Hazard magazines reprinting old comic strips, but I couldn't find it. My collection is nowhere near in order, so I couldn't find those. And it's funny because people like to rag on Johnny Hazard creator Frank Robbins for his very weird body language that he used at Marvel in the 1970s with Captain America and the Invaders. But the Johnny Hazard comic strip was very, very good. He had a style that was very influenced by Milton Caniff. The characters look more realistic, they were equally expressive. If there was one thing that Frank Robbins knew how to do was to give the characters emotion, and that emotion was already present in Johnny Hazard. But I couldn't locate them, so I brought something else. The Cisco Kid.
Okay. Yeah, Frank Robbins is kind of an acquired taste, but I know what they're talking about for the Invaders. Some of that was kind of hard to look at, but then he also does an issue of The Shadow, and you start to get used to it by then. It's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. So the Cisco Kid here uses all the tropes from the movies and TV series, and the artwork on the comic strip was by José Luis Salinas. So yeah, very detailed in a way that was not typical of comic strips.
That's good work. Yeah.
Yeah. Really nice.
There's an ad here in the back page for the next issue was going to be Rip Kirby. I don't have that one. I never got very interested in Rip Kirby, but if it's there, I'll read it.
Sure.
Okay, what else do we have here? So before I get to the Phantom, how about some? Yeah, here it is. Let's go for Big Ben Bolt. Not sure how many people still remember Big Ben Bolt. The cover's original. It was made for this magazine, Mundo de Aventuras, which was the last of the long-standing black and white magazines that we have on the stands. This one's from 1981. Big Ben Bolt had been created by Elliot Kaplan, Al Cap's brother, but by this stage, the strip was being done by Gray Morrow with assistance from Neil Adams. So I have to get this because they crammed 5 strips in one page for this thing, and everything is really small, but you can see the detail, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can definitely see Neil Adams.
Yeah.
And there's some good gray in there too. It's not just solid black white.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're using those black. What was that thing that James Steranko liked to use for that he got brought over from advertising that the people in comics didn't know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I can't think of the word for it, but yeah, they could cut that out, paste it where they wanted it. It's good shading.
Yeah, Big Ben Bolt started as a strip about boxing, but By the 1970s, it was roving adventure reporter. So here he is in the, but in Arab disguised as a sort of Lawrence of Arabia type character. There are other strips here. Let's see. So in the middle of the story gets interrupted on page 19, and they run some other strips here in the middle. So here's a page from Starhawks.
Gil Kane.
Yeah, I also have a collection of Star Walks in a book somewhere. Here's a double page spread with part of a Tarzan Sunday strip. Russ Manning.
Mm.
And here's Casey Ruggles, which I am not very familiar with. This magazine also had a... What's the... a written prose story, The Curse of Fort Wolf, written by a Portuguese author. It was ongoing. It continues in the next number.
Where was that? Where was the setting of that text story? Was that the America?
Along the Canadian frontier, Major Red McCoy. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not all about Americans. They have some
Right.
Canadians. I think I saw a comic crack in the chat there. So yeah, there's some mention of Canada in Portuguese comics. Okay, what else? Oh, how about some Secret Agent X9, Corrigan,
Sure.
by Al Williamson.
Cool.
Here's an excerpt where he's driving a very cool Alfa Romeo. And let's see some artwork. Al Williamson always did much better work on the comic strips than he did in the comics, because even though he had a daily schedule, it didn't seem as rushed. Let's see if I can find some interesting bits of art around here as well. Back to the end. There's a lot of talking in this issue.
This won't surprise anybody. Everything you've shown, I want a copy of.
That's some pretty cool stuff right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this collection was published by Futura. They were short-lived, but they had this collection in smaller album format, and they also had Starhawks, and that's where I first saw Starhawks, was in this collection. And they also did a couple of Conan books back in the 1982, and they even published the Incal by Mobius in this format.
Wow.
Okay, well, let's see. So let's go for the Phantom. I got a lot of Phantom stuff here. So let's go for another one of those facsimile editions. Mission in Ivory Lana, which was one of Bengala's neighboring fictional countries.
So is that rooster their main logo, or?
Yeah, at the time, they would do sometimes they would use the character on top, and this is the actual trademark for the magazine, the actual title of the magazine.
Okay.
So by this time it's early Cy Berry here, still in the 1970s. Focusing on his then girlfriend, now wife, Diana. Diana became a very important character for the Phantom setting because it gave him somebody to talk to besides Guran. There's also his adopted son at the time before he got married, which was Rex King. He later became the prince of a neighboring nation.
Now, which fandom would this be? Would this be like the one in the early 20th century or current day? Or
It always got contemporary as the strip moved forward. Of course, you can always say that it exists in a time beyond time where the character doesn't move forward much.
For those of you that aren't familiar with the Phantom, he keeps getting replaced by a descendant. So he supposedly has been around for a few hundreds of years, basically.
400 years.
Yeah.
And this Phantom is the 21st of the line. Here he's in his identity as Mr. Walker, because as they say, sometimes the ghost who walks takes on the guise of a man.
Yeah.
The whole mysticism angle is very interesting for the character, because it allows him to move in several settings and not leave a mark that he was there. Siberi never worked much in comics, although I've seen his name get mentioned in the Grand Comics database in the 50s. Let's see if I get some action. There was some action around here. Yeah. But in the last 2 decades or so, the Phantom's been drawn by people with an article with a career in actual comics. So after the Phantom, there's also more Big Ben Bolt. This was before that Gray Morrow, Neil Adams. So it's still John Cullen Murphy doing the art. John Cullen Murphy's son, Cullen Jr., later became associated with Prince Valiant. Finishes in the back cover, the Big Ben Bolt story.
Looks good.
More Phantom. These are more classic stories, because they still have the artist that predated Siberi. Not one of my favorites, but interesting enough. Although if it hadn't been for Siberi, when this guy died, Wilson McCoy, maybe the strip would have ended soon after, because Siberi was much more dynamic. The story set in the Phantom's private island, where he has a living zoo, where they feed all the big cats fish. Also deals with river pirates. You'll notice that, I'm not sure if you notice, but the lettering is done with a typeset machine.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that at this time they were doing double translations, because I can sometimes see where they picked up Spanish expressions. So they would first translate from English to Spanish, and then they would buy the used comic strips in Spain where it would be cheaper, and then translate it to Portuguese from there. Here's another one, but this one's already Siberi, early Siberi. So not the same printing quality on this one. This magazine was cheap, and I'm pretty sure that they didn't have the rights to publish it, because it lasted for 17 weeks, and then they stopped, and it was fairly abrupt stop.
Well, who has time for all that stuff about getting rights to publish? And blah, blah, blah.
It's comics. You just want to give the public comics. That's what we want.
Exactly.
There's a Cats and Jabber Kids strip filling out the last pages. Okay, now this one's our Brazilian magazines. They're a mix of old and new. Although most are Silverage. Actually, I always prefer when the setting is in the jungle. I like seeing the Phantom in the jungle better than when it comes to town, because there's a lot of colorful characters. Not only Goran, but also Old Man Maz. Oh, here's a bit from the Phantom's origin. This cabin boy becomes the first Phantom 400 years ago. They are trying to cram five strips in one page again. And okay, the Phantom has kids already has his kids in this story. You can see they're still little kids, although they've in the final strip, although they've been appearing in his comic as teenagers now. So there's a bit of speculation whether the Phantom is going to die soon, and his son and daughter are going to become the Phantom. Okay, this is one of the good ones here. Story of the Hunter Witch. Which is still a Wilson McCoy story, but features a female Phantom for the first time. So in case somebody complains that Heloise becomes the Phantom, it's been done.
Now I think that we saw the female Phantom when over here in America when Charlton Comics were covering the Phantom.
Yeah.
She shows up for a whole issue kind of by herself.
Yeah, the Charlton stories are not directly reprinted, but they're adapted from the original comic strips. So they have to shuffle some art around to make sure that it fits in the regular comic format. And Bill Lignanti had to draw some things every once in a while. And okay, and I'm almost done. So since we had the jungle angle, we're going to finish with Tarzan. Excellent. Although, yeah, this is from an associated sale that ran with newspapers. It was 20 comics from all over the world. There was Tarzan, there was Mandrake and Phantom, there was Flash Gordon, but there was also a bunch of Marvel characters. There was Fantastic Four, there was Spider-Man, there was X-Men. They did Batman and Superman. They also did a bunch of European characters. There's a Tintin book. There's a Corto Maltese book. There's one reprinting the works of Mobius, and even one reprinting the works of Spanish artist Miguel Ancho Prado, who is almost unknown in the English-speaking world, but I like very much. He has the way he does comics is like, what if Kafka had a sense of humor? Okay, so the Tarzan book doesn't reprint comic strips. It goes directly to the Dell and Gold key material in color, and this is Tarzan's origin from the Dell comic with art by Russ Manning and written by Gaylord Dubois. But it's got all the scenes from the original paperback story, which I also own a modern reprint of the first two Tarzan books.
Looks good.
Mm-hmm. Yours, Tarzan Stalker. the Queen La. She wants Tarzan. She's always going after him. And if I'm not mistaken, and I am not, here's the first Korek story.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then he manages to as a 10-year-old, he manages to board a steamer to Africa with one of the great apes, which had been smuggled into the United States, and he helps the great ape go back to Africa, and nobody's the wiser. This is how Korek meets his wife-to-be, Mariam. So you got all these Dell comics are doing a very good job with the Tarzan stories because they go directly to the source, to the novels. And here's the city of Paloldan, where there's another one of those colorful half human, half ape creatures. They have, so the Tarzan could always find some things that looked like animals, but they could speak, which is the same type of thing that you can find in Kamandi.
Excellent. And it will all tie in together, because we'll show little apes. We'll show, in fact, I'm going to show a tiny bit of Tarzan from a movie poster later tonight. A little spoiler there, but no, those were great. I'm wanting to get my hands on all that, and then I'd probably sit with Google and try to figure out what they're saying, if it would help me out there. But no, those were great. I'm
incredible.
Right up my alley.
It was what a lot of people who are older than me grew up reading. It was these comics and these characters. Most of them don't like Marvel or DC. They don't like superheroes, but they like these ones.
Sure.
So older people, but nobody here. I mean, there's no older people here.
No. We're all young at heart over here. Well, Dr. Silverage, did you want to show a book or two? Captain Strangelife is getting a little antsy. He wants to see more of us, more of our smiling faces. So I'll put it on you for a little bit.
Yeah, enough Phantom, more smiling faces.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have much to contribute by way of Kamandi. Like I said before, I have number one and a few sparse issues somewhere here. They're scattered throughout a bunch of boxes. This one here I just picked up recently, which was number 4, and I love the red and yellow in this.
Yeah,
Yep.
great.
Yeah, you know. So, and then I did pick up this recently in the dollar bin. So far, I haven't heard any good reviews about it. Kamandi at Earth's End. So I guess it's a mini series. This is number 1, but I don't know anything beyond that. So I had not. I did not have a whole lot of Kamandi experience. So we had mentioned doing stuff with the post-apocalyptic thing, and I know you had said that Gold Key was going to show some Mighty Samson. I do have half a dozen Mighty Samson here that I just picked up, including this one here is number 1.
Oh boy. Yeah.
It's very nice.
And then on the back of that, we got number 2. I believe that's right. Yeah.
Look at that. Wow.
So
That is freaky looking. I like it.
So I only had I think 1 for a long time of these. It was one of those things I never thought about collecting or anything like that. And the one who got me interested in doing it is Shannon. He collected. I think he just finished it. not too long ago. I think he finished that run. And this is Mighty Samson. What number is this? This is number 6. I don't even have it bagged and boarded yet because it takes like a Golden Age bag, and I don't have any Golden Age bags hanging around. So
I recently bagged that 2 weeks ago. You're right. The Silverage bag doesn't fit it.
nope. Let's see. What do we got here? This is Mighty Samson number 26. This was on the spinner rack on September 5th, 1974.
Very sweet.
Weird looking bird.
And number 27. They had some great painted covers, though.
Definitely.
And then we got number 31. Get my fingers out of the way. There we go.
I don't have that one.
And picked up that same bundle that I bought. These I've never seen before. I don't quite because historic, I guess. Let's see.
Doctor, I think your video feed's about to. There it is. Whatever you just said, we didn't hear a word you said.
I said in the same bundle that I bought off of eBay with these Mighty Samsons, I picked up these two came with it, the Fantastic Voyages of Sinbad, and I didn't write down which one was which. So I don't know if that's number one.
Yeah, that's nice. I've seen that, not in person.
Yeah, I never saw this. I've never ever seen this anywhere before. So I said, "Wow, okay, that's worth picking up." So, and it came as part of this group, so it was a nice group to get. And then there was only 2 issues, and I noticed the issues were like a couple of years apart. So, but I don't have an overabundance of gold keys in my collection, as it were, but I'm trying to remedy some of that. So, there we go. That's what I got for my gold keys and my Kamandi.
They looked great.
I'm going to be more of a student and an observer, I think, tonight, because I'd like to learn more about the Kamandi character. So,
well, Eric slipped in a little while ago. Eric, how's things in your lovely state? Or should we ask Jambo?
25 minutes in a drive-through.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, I had visions of being on time for once dancing in my head.
You usually are.
I got there. It was like 25 till, and when I pulled away, it was already after 8.
Man.
Well, was your water messed up?
No, surprisingly, it wasn't. It was lukewarm, but but I'm sure they probably have about a third of the staff working. The person that took my order probably had quit by the time I got to the window.
Or retired.
Yeah.
Seems to be a lot of that going around.
So I have to ask, is that shirt officially sanctioned by DC Comics circa 1966?
Yes, it is. I'm
Awesome.
debuting it here tonight, my Go-Go Checks shirt.
That is great.
I searched it out. I said, I'm going to get it because when I do the Go-Go Checks updates once in a while on my videos, I says I'm going to see if they make a checkered shirt. By golly, they did. So I said, okay. I got my son to order me it off of Amazon. Get it for me.
And welcome, Steve. It's good to see you.
What's up, guys?
How you doing,
Hey.
Steve?
Fine. How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
Doing great.
Good.
All right. Those of you that don't recognize Jambo without his hat, Jambo has joined us. He's on the bottom right there. Jambo, do you have a couple of Kamandis you wanted to show us?
I got a few. I don't have a whole lot, but I do have a
That's
few.
fine.
Number one. I did manage to keep that one. Always kind of like that cover. And this one, Dr. Silverage already showed. Number 4.
I like that cover.
And this was actually the first of the series I ever read myself. Number 9.
That's wonderful.
I remember
one
the
of my
Kirby
favorites.
art inside just kind of freaked me out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Wow, that's freaky.
Oh, the Dolphins, the Red
Dol-
Baron.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Dolphins were cool, and they had a killer whale, too.
Yeah. I remember him. There's number 24. This one has some writing, unfortunately, on the cover. Someone was going to sell it for a dime. Half price.
It was a good bargain.
Yeah. And yeah, these are in old bags. I didn't get a chance to reboard them or bag them or anything. That's number 29.
Can't be. It's gotta be more than 30.
39 maybe. Yeah,
Well,
39.
Yeah.
Joe Kubert. And there's a 41. It's like a VW Beetle back there in the background.
Like Speed Buggy.
I was just going to say,
Chickabah, chickabah, chickabah.
Not safe in Hollywood.
No.
This is number 44.
And that's by the great Ernie Chan.
Yeah. At this point, I'd got used to Kirby drawing Kamandi, and everybody else just seemed, even though the art was, it was really good. I guess I got used to Kirby doing it. That is number 46. And dug this out just because it always reminded me of Kamandi number 1.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and they don't give him the hassle that they gave Kirby for using the statue.
Right? And it's basically the same cover almost.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that was a tip of the hat or what, but yeah. And I picked this up today. I was out and I'd never seen it before.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's
Microbot.
from a toy line.
I covered
Nice.
that one of my episodes.
Did you? I need to look at that. Is number
Yeah.
1. Yeah.
It's the only one.
Mm-hmm.
The only one. Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
Like the end of the story was left open, like for continuation, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It was
Well, I was thinking that Marvel had maybe borrowed the idea for Micronauts, maybe from this Microbots. So
it was a toy line, little die-cast toys, but yeah, it was a kind of a half-hearted promotion. Like there's not even an ad for the toys in the magazine.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
If you look online at an ad
Yeah.
for the toys, you'll see the comic advertised.
Interesting.
And it was a Kenner product, and Kenner used to run those 16-page catalogs in a lot of the Gold Key books, but I don't know. It was like they sort of were promoting this toy, but sort of not. Oh, yeah. That's a Kamandi tie-in.
Two.
You know. Buddy, is his name Buddy Blank? Is that his name?
Yeah, Buddy Blank.
Yeah.
Yeah, he turns. I mean, it turns out that he's Kamandi's grandfather, the one who dies in number 1.
And
In there,
and
and that's tie-in as well. Oh,
Good stuff.
good stuff.
and yeah, this is probably not, but yeah, it's just another Kirby.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll let somebody else show something if they want to.
Well, Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Just got in and able to jump on and see everybody. I don't have anything prepared to show, so I'm just going to be
fine.
here hanging out and chit chat with you guys.
Oh, that's fine. No, it's a great subject. Gold Key, let's premiere you, buddy. Did you want to show us anything, or do you want to just chat about Kamandi?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I can always talk about Kamandi. It is my favorite comic, hands down. As far as the ones you've already covered, I mean, I don't have anything in that gap. I don't have all the book, because the first one that I bought in, I think, like May of '74 was number 20. Everything's backwards. Okay, number 20.
Yep. You'll get used to it.
Yeah. I would see, I only had a small mom and pop grocery store with one spinner rack to pick comics from, so Pickens, you got what was there or what caught your eye. I would see this book from time to time. I don't know, I just never picked it up, but my family was making a trip that summer to Chicago to visit one of my uncles, my dad's brother. And I saw this on here, it says, "You are leaving Chicago. Come back again, come back again." So I opened it up, and on the first page, being a Planet of the Apes fan, I see, once again, I'm backwards, I see this talking gorilla. So, I'm immediately interested. But then, as typical is for this book, you get that first page, and then you get the 2-page splash. And then I see this man they're talking about. Look at his face. He's an android.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking right off the bat, this is like Westworld.
Westworld.
And I was hooked.
Yeah.
I was hooked. And, everybody talks about, the Kirby crackle. But what about the Kirby tech? I mean, that always, appealed to me. The way he depicted technology just appealed to me. And, so, that started, my interest in Kamandi. I had 19. I went back to that grocery store and got 19, which is the beginning of this Chicago story, but I don't know what happened to it. I don't have it anymore. So that's that. But I was able to collect a small run. There's 21. And someone showed 22 already with the Red Baron and the Dolphins. He didn't just borrow from Planet of the Apes. He was kind of borrowing from all the sci-fi in the 70s, I think.
Yeah.
Like Westworld, Day of the Dolphins. There's that killer shark you were talking about, Graphic Man. And there's 24. Here we got some flying sharks.
Yeah, if sharks ever learned how to fly, we would be doomed.
Yes.
That's 25. And I won't show any more of those because I'm getting kind of far ahead from where you were, but it was number 20 for me. That was the first one. I did pick up some of the older issues. I have number 1 behind me here over the years. But something else that I was really interested in, kind of falls into that post-apocalyptic thing. and it's really one of the few Marvel comics that I bought as a kid. And it's Amazing Adventures Volume 2.
That's a good series.
Yeah.
Yes.
Volume 2, War of the Worlds, starring Killraven.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Paulo told a pretty interesting story before the stream that maybe he could tell everyone. That started with number 18. Dr. Silverage, what did you say it was before this? Black Widow and...
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was Black Widow and Inhumans?
Yeah, and then the Beast.
And then the Beast, right.
But this ran for, I think, 30... Well, from 18 until 39. And that was the end of Killraven. I don't know if Amazing Adventures continued in another volume or not, but that was it for Killraven. But it was a pretty interesting story, sort of paralleled Kamandi. They kind of traveled across the country.
Right.
He was looking for his lost brother, and he had a band of, other people that they called the Freemen. Yeah. And I believe it was the first interracial kiss in a mainstream comic. There was a character called Mushala, a black guy, and he and this woman called what was she called? I can't remember her name right now, but apparently that's like what's historic about that series. And I was going to show the Microbots because I know Jambo showed it, but that's another post-apocalyptic. Unfortunately, only one issue.
A lot nicer than the one I showed. Yeah, it's nice.
It was a shame, like the toys failed. It was a terrible promotion, and they just left the story just hanging there. Like, these, and it was real, kind of like Kamandi. One of the appeals for me with Kamandi, was that he was a kid. He was somebody my age, and he was out there having these adventures. Well, it's the same thing in the Microbox. You got these two kids, and they're living in a post-apocalyptic America. But
they had the idea, yeah, they just didn't go with it.
Yeah, and I do have a couple Mighty Samsons. Dr. Silverage showed number 23. Oh, darn it, I'm backwards again. And I also have 25.
Oh,
so I'm rebuilding that collection. I had quite a few of these back in the day, but they're gone.
Is that like a mole? Like a mole creature?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, some sort of mole or like a cross between a mole and a worm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for me as far as showing anything. But yeah, I can sit here and listen to Kamandi talk and all night long if I had all night. But no.
It's interesting little tidbit. An interesting tidbit about Killraven. In Marvel Team Up in 1976, after they did a storyline that took place in the Salem witch trials, Spider-Man kept missing his jump back to 76, and he had team-ups with Killraven and Deathlock.
Yeah. And
the years that the far-flung futures were set in were 1990 and 2019.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, issue 18, issue 1 of Killraven, number 18, they start the year out as 2018, so
yeah.
He started his adventure, it was 2018.
Yeah. Apart from that Marvel team up, Killraven also appears in one of the Marvel graphic novels with art by Craig Russell, which was the last contemporary Killraven story at that time. Then he comes back in other incarnations. But now if I could tell that story about what they did with Killraven in Marvel UK. So Marvel UK had a Planet of the Apes magazine, and they needed material to fill it up. And one of the things they did, they got the Killraven stories, but in order to keep it on topic, they redrew Killraven's costume, and he became Ape Slayer, and the Martian robots were redrawn with gorilla heads, so that he would be killing apes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact issues of the British magazine that he appeared in. It was but it's a full run. Not the full run of Amazing Adventures, but quite a number of issues that were turned. And I'm sure that they're kind of hard to assemble a full set. You probably have to go hunt everywhere in the UK to find them. But there would be an interesting item to own, I think.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, I'll show a couple. Here's and a bat related thing. So you got number 9 and 10, and I just creeped out by these bats, and
Yeah, they're pretty wicked.
how could they get so big? I'd like to start with some scans of number 17, and so this will introduce the Gophers.
Mm.
And as you see, Kirby starts off with chapter 1, and then the chapter 2. So it's similar to the old Fantastic Four. And as Shannon pointed out, he loved drawing gnarled trees and tree branches. So we'll just skim through. Go ahead.
Looks like early Challengers of the Unknown too.
Yeah. So if you guys see something really interesting you want me to stop on, that'd be great. But he throws in a few extra splashes, and you see the chapter 3. So I really dig that style.
Mm-hmm.
And here, it reminds me of the movie The Mole People, where the Gophers just start stealing things. So this is the basically the introduction. Wanted to refresh you all's memory, and we'll get into Gold Key Geezer's area. He likes 18, 19, and 20. And so this was Shannon's favorite, as you recall, from a couple of days ago. And I say this creature is mostly teeth, and so it's pretty intimidating. And I just, this is one of my first memories of Kamandi, seeing him being sneaked up on. And, I don't think you can just pick one of these up and not be hooked on it almost instantly.
Agreed. Especially the Kirby books.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The worm turns.
I think you reminded me of a young Thor from the Tales of Asgard.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Issues there, yeah.
I don't think that Kirby's very good at drawing sneaky, because every character that he draws is so larger than life, so with such a strong personality that you can't help but to notice that the character is there. So,
Right.
so trying to portray sneaky, it kind of goes against what Kirby is good at.
Yeah, that would
Yes,
probably explain
that is
why he
true.
didn't do too many Daredevil. Daredevil would sneak up on you. And so we're about ready for Chicago here. I'm afraid I'm going to skip it. Yeah, here it is. And so right out of Star Trek, a piece of the action.
Yeah, and it definitely has, like, that Star Trek feel, like, going back to the old Chicago Gangsterland thing, and then, turns into that Westworld theme park.
Does anybody have any input on the inker here? It was earlier.
Mike Royer.
Right.
And, I don't remember when Barry took over.
Whatever
He did the
happened.
He did
He
the
was
last
shooting.
issue too.
Yeah.
People talk about Vinnie Coletta over Kirby. Man, as much as I dislike Coletta, D. Bruce Barry, he's, to me, absolutely atrocious.
Well, worse than this would be George Bell. If you take a look at Fantastic Four 25 and 26, the Avengers are there and the Hulk. It ought to be great stuff, but George Bell kind of ruins it for me.
Hmm.
I guess if I were more of a Chicagoan, I'd appreciate the Michigan Avenue references and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So Gold Key is we're in the area that's your favorite, right?
Yep. Those 19 and 20, those two stories, just because I was into Westworld and Planet of the Apes, and got both of them. They're right there. And, the big reveal is, like that splash page in 20 when you see the gangster's face pulled off. And that just blew me away right there. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
Up until that point, you thought it was just some sort of group of humans who were stuck in the past, but now, you find out it was a theme park, just like Westworld.
Yeah. It's kind of nice that on the newspaper here has the credits. That's pretty clever.
And you can see a bit of the design that eventually becomes Machine Man.
And so here's some nice irony. These two guys have been fighting each other for issues and issues now, and they're sharing a cell. It's pretty comical.
Yeah, the inking is definitely a step down from Royer.
Right.
For sure. Like, that's just awful. Like,
Oh yeah, that last panel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been great if they'd had Chick Stone or Joe Sinnott come in.
Yeah.
Sinnott, I thought did best on Kirby.
He gets put in the electric chair.
I know. But they don't get to electrocute him.
Nope. And he finds out, all the all the tech working behind the scenes.
Some of the Kirby tech.
Man.
He said he was
incredible.
borrowing from everything. It wasn't just Planet of the Apes. It was whatever. And I loved it. I didn't care.
Right.
But good stuff.
So hopefully by showing some of that, we've piqued the curiosity of some people that don't ever get to see any of that. I agree.
Oh yeah, Bill
An
Everett.
interesting
Also
idea.
Wally Wood. Wally Wood was a great inker over Kirby.
But Everett over Kirby isn't something that we saw a lot of, and so
Yeah.
we have the idea of how far they could have gone together.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Well, does anybody have any good Planet of the Apes? I'll show this nice little trade. This is Beneath the Planet
Sweet.
by Malibu. There's the back cover, James Franciscus and Nova.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nova.
And so what this was
Linda Harrison, right?
Yeah.
is reprinting the Marvel magazines.
That's cool.
So I don't have any of those Marvel magazines, but they initially just followed the Ape saga from the movies and then kind of went off on their own after that. Is that how that
Right.
worked?
Yeah, the first few issues were taken from the movies, I think. At least the
Okay.
first movie.
Yeah,
And
kind of
the
like
second-
the Marvel comic. Nobody in there really looked like Charlton Heston, but a basic character running around. So,
Kind of like the TV show.
right. Now the apes did a better job of portraying them more like the characters you saw in the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm always tempted to put Planet of the Apes with Kamandi. And now I kind of want to put Mighty Samson with them too.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Somebody's holding up something. Oh, that's Jambo.
There you go.
Great Earl Norham cover there. This is from Beneath the Planet of the Apes, I think.
Oh.
It's number 8.
Do you guys see these easily? I don't see them ever where I'm at.
I see them
Not so
pretty
much.
frequent.
Here's number 10. This is the last part of the story to Beneath the Planet of the Apes. I was trying to find my Marvel Planet of the Apes, but I didn't have any luck, so I don't know where they went to. And the Jungle Twins.
Nice.
Cool.
We were talking about this guy, I think, last week.
That's apocalyptic, all right.
Always like the theme song.
Yeah, pretty catchy.
Yeah.
The Phantom. We were talking about Phantom.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Paulo, we'll let you answer that here in a minute.
Is that one of the Aparo issues?
I'm not sure. It is number 54. Number 54.
By that stage, it might be mostly Aparo. Yeah, I remember there were a couple of. I noticed because it wasn't normal, but they ran stories originally made for the Italian Phantom comic in Charlton.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Paulo, you've been asked a question, so here it is again.
No, we don't really do superheroes. Most of the comics here are too highbrow, to want to be highbrow, to even be published by Fantagraphics.
Wow.
And yet, there are very few attempts at doing any sort of adventure type character. There were a couple of attempts lately. There's the best we can do in that regard is as an ongoing feature is Jim Delmonico, which is also very much a humor project. There was O Corvo, translated as the Crow, nothing to do with the Crow, but yeah, it's sort of a Vertigo style take on what a character would do if he was jumping around rooftops.
Paulo, does your job allow you traveling out of the country?
I used to, but since it was mostly from airport to airport, and then from the airport to the hotel, and to the hotel from the airport, there have been occasions where I've bought. I have about 6 or 7 Marvel and DC French editions. Okay. When I go to in Italy, I usually try to bring a Bonelli comic with me. I do have 2 or 3 issues of Diabolic, which is published independently. I never tried to bring the Disneys. Most of the Disney stories sold in Europe are made in Italy, and their comics are like 200 pages, and they only cost about $4 in their weekly.
Wow.
But they have very good art inside.
Wow.
How about adult horror? Kind of depends. We have a lot of slice of life stuff, which is probably not what you're looking for.
Well, I think if I were there in your country, in spite of the fact no superheroes, I'd be picking up everything you showed, and I would just make do with that.
There's one thing that I need to explain about the comic genres in Europe. There's really no point in doing superheroes in Europe because European readers who like superheroes will buy either translated editions of Marvel, DC, and other American comics, or they will buy the American comics directly. So there's no point in coming up with them. There are a few, and I do have the first two comics where they attempt to bring back the old Lug superheroes that were originally published in the 60s and 70s. Some of those were published in the United States with the assistance of Top Cow Comics. Jean-Marc L'Officier, who was Mobius's agent, was involved with them. And there are English language editions of those French superheroes that you can buy from the Hexagon Comics website.
Okay. Well, gold key geezer, I'm going to show you a few images. And just because it's a gold key, we'll change it up. The opposite of the end of the world, kind of near the beginning. So if you saw my walkthrough video of my house, this was in my bathroom. That's a metal tin of that book. And I actually finally got it.
I have that book. That's cool.
The souvenir from New York, the World's Fair. And here's the interior covers, exterior. And so this is the first page. I thought it was neat because, see, here's Hokey Wolf, Snooper and Blabber, Huckleberry Hound, almost all the Funny Animal, Mr. Jinx. They all make an appearance. If you don't know who Mr. Jinx was, he was always chasing two mice named Pixie and Dixie. And there's another Hokey Wolf appearance, and it'll have Quick Draw McGraw and Touche Turtle, Snagglepuss, Wally Gator. See, it's got everybody in it, and it even had the Jetsons, Yogi Bear. So a pretty neat little gold key book. I highly recommend it. I know you probably are more into the painted covers, but I love the little Funny Animal. And let's see.
And he gets his wallet back, so it has a happy ending.
That's Fred can get in so much trouble. Well, you're probably wondering, did I mess with pop culture any? Well, I tried. I thought I would do something about Craven. So I looked for this picture, and I guess they're calling this Craven. I think it looks more like Captain Hamster to me, but this smiling guy on the left, they're saying that he's going to be in an upcoming movie or something as Craven. Well, maybe I guess he looks like this drawing, but I'll probably sound like a snob. But to me, this is Craven. Yeah. And I wanted to challenge myself. Could I come up with something that looked like that? Could I make just by using images and photos? And could I set him in a Tarzan type movie? So here's a nice little poster of Tarzan's Magic Fountain. You see that little box on the left will be a photo. I'll insert Craven into that photo. And I thought there'd be plenty of room at the bottom for Sabu and Ka-Zar to show up there with the Black Panther, and they will help Tarzan to fight Craven the Hunter.
That's very cool.
Oh, very cool.
So as you can see, it says Ka-Zar and Black Panther must help Tarzan stop the terrible menace of Craven the Hunter. And although Ka-Zar looks a little hokey, I was kind of pleased with my Craven. And I don't know if you guys can figure out who that is. No, it's not Burt Reynolds.
Rick
That
Rude.
was going to be my guess.
Did I hear Rick Rude?
Yeah.
A wrestler. Yeah, wrestler.
No. But if I let Eric stare at that for about an hour, I'm sure he'd come up with it. And maybe Strange Life, who's a native Chicagoan, could come up with that. The great middle linebacker,
Dick Buck.
Dick Buckus.
Hey.
Yes.
Ah,
And so
Oh, wow.
look at that. Look at that terrible haircut. So I had to make him Craven and give him a costume. And so, as you can see, he's coming out of that magic fountain that Tarzan has. So, but it doesn't really bring the house down. It's not the mole people, but earlier in the week, Grottu came on my stream on Saturday, and he kind of gave me a challenge for doing something about Frankenberry, making it more, monster or scary looking. So I thought I'll try to do something like make Frankenstein look like Frankenberry. And then I wanted a good subject to be scared, and I found this nice lady here. Although the gun's in the way, I had to erase all that gun and attach her wrist into her sleeve. So I'm using elements of Frankenstein to do that, and I came up with this.
nice. He's afraid of the cereal.
That's great.
Yeah, the cereal's coming alive. So,
That's awesome.
Cool.
No to the sugar.
so this was Grottu's idea, and I just fell in love with the idea. Unfortunately, we are not original. Somebody already kind of done something like this, and I just discovered it about 4 hours ago. I found this T-shirt.
Wow.
Tales from the Cereal. And so they've already done something similar to this concept with here's Count Chocula.
Oh, that's cool.
So
Good old count.
but I had some fun anyway. So
That's neat.
Yeah, that's cool.
does anybody have anything they want to show yet?
Yeah, I don't really have anything that goes with tonight's theme.
Well, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm sure I can come up with something.
Hey,
We'll let somebody else go.
hey, Graphic Man, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Gonna have to cut out soon, but
Okay.
I don't mean to interrupt Eric, but showing that cover reminded me, and I'll have to try to track them down. I think I have them on my computer. Somebody on eBay was selling T-shirts that were Gold Key comic covers of the Night Stalker, Kolchak.
Okay.
Of course, that wasn't a comic, but they made these, fake covers, kind of like what you do, and they look great. I mean, one of them he's going up against Leatherface, and another one he's going up against Basket Case, and it's
I
it's
have
a really
a
good.
T-shirt. Yeah, I have one. He's going against the Tiki Idol, the little
Right. Yep.
from,
From the Tales
Trilogy
of
of
Terror.
what's it called?
Trilogy of Terror.
Trilogy of Terror.
Yeah, Trilogy of Terror. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
one of
okay.
those. Yeah, they got it in red.
Oh man,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's that same person. Yeah, that's some really neat
yeah,
stuff.
very cool. Yeah,
Hey, well, listen,
Yeah.
guys. Thanks for the invite, Graphic Man. Thanks, everybody. Sorry I can't hang any longer.
Oh, that's fine.
My morning starts pretty early. Paulo, God bless you, man. I don't know how
Yeah.
you're staying.
I know.
Paulo's everywhere, man.
But-
That's right.
Yeah, so
Omnipresent.
maybe I could do this again sometime.
You sure can. You sure
All right.
can. And
Right.
there'll be many times we'll be talking about Kamandi and Mighty Samson and Dagar and all those guys. So,
All good stuff.
all
Okay.
right. We'll
All right.
see
Well, thanks, guys.
Okay.
take care.
Good
Here you
night.
go, Key.
I,
Paulo, how you hanging in there? Doing okay?
Yeah, it's 2:00, but I'm still going.
All right, Jambo.
You don't have your whiskey, man?
I finished it 2 hours ago.
Okay.
I popped into the comic shop and grabbed some more of those DVDs that they had. They were just so weird. I couldn't leave them there.
The last skeleton.
The Lost Skeleton of Cadabra,
That's cool.
filmed in Skeletorama. It says there. So yeah, it was only $1, so I couldn't leave it behind for that.
Oh no, not for even for $10. That'd be worth it.
Looks interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
I never heard of this.
Yeah.
It's they're all super old black and white stuff from the 50s probably. And this one was a great double feature.
Whoa.
The Day Time Ended and the Doomsday Machine.
Cool.
So lots of goodness there for only $1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, can't go wrong.
Well, you can pop them in, have your own creature double feature.
Right. I got some creatures too. I don't have any more post-apocalyptic stuff, but yeah, nice Adrian Barbeau Swamp Thing from the movie.
Oh yeah, from the movie poster.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the fan.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah. Nice. Phantom Stranger.
Some good old Jack Kirby.
Oh yeah.
Prints from Prize Comics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Meyer's seen one of your movies here.
Oh yeah.
Panther
Skeleton.
Yeah, there's Strange Adventures.
Yeah.
You showed this one. Oops, sorry. You showed the real thing of this last week, I think, Micah.
Oh yeah. Journey number 18.
Yeah.
You got the original one, huh?
Yeah.
Micah's got that, yeah.
That's cool.
And yeah, this was in with some of my Kirby stuff. It was beat all to hell, but
Good old dingbats.
It's a first issue special. Wow.
yeah. Dead End Kids gone wrong there.
There you go. Tom Sutton, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's some great
Nice.
stuff.
Oh wow.
Ariel
There you
and
go.
Mermaid gone wrong there. I found one of my Marvel Tales annuals.
Hey, all right.
Showing some of those
That's
last.
there you go.
Yeah. Love those square bounds.
Yeah, man. A lot cheaper than the originals, I tell you.
These are great. This one here, somebody decided to decorate it.
Oh man.
Oh.
Yeah, but they still reprint all those great Golden Age books and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll grab them every time I see them and stuff. Yeah, this is another reprint here.
Yeah.
The
Oh
DC stuff.
They sure tried. EC tried to behave itself, and
yeah.
They were really trying to tone it down there.
they
But-
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the die was
Sackle
cast.
Endless was
too late.
weird.
This one was picked up.
Oh, that's
because-
cool.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah. That's about it. Beat up Whitman variant on the Lone Ranger.
Oh wow. That's a tough book.
Very cool.
And Whitman
And
was
Steve, for you, buddy, another Charlton there.
Oh yeah, there you go. Nice. That's awesome.
Beach Boys.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, this got this the other day.
Oh, very nice.
Wow.
Yes.
Impressive.
That's
Was that,
cool.
was that Phantom Eagle on there?
Number 46. It is Spy Smasher
Oh, okay.
and Ibis Invincible. Golden Arrow and
Nice.
yeah. Let's see. Lance O'Casey. So yeah, it was in pretty good shape. I was glad to grab that one. Let's see. I got another Gold key here. It's kind of beat, but
Shadows.
Yeah, Barnabas.
Yeah. That's the only time I like watching that show when he was on. Any other
When he
time
was
I didn't
on it.
want to watch it.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had an aunt that used to watch that. She was dedicated. She would watch it every day when it was on, and I didn't understand what it was going. You know what it was about. It was like a soap opera, but it was about vampires. You know, so yeah, I never did. But it seemed kind of cooler than the rest of the soap operas it was on.
Oh, yeah.
Just a old price guide.
Okay.
It's kind of fun to look at the prices on them and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, man. I don't want to hog up all the time.
Oh, well, that was great.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
man.
cool.
You inspired me, Jambo. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab something.
All right.
Yeah, we're all caught up in the chat. Jambo Maranya was liking all the backgrounds you have.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this room is always changing. It seems like there's always a bunch of stuff being added to it. And sometimes I'll just get bored with it and move some stuff around. And
Oh, hold on.
That's sweet.
Hmm.
Yeah, even the font looked really cool on that.
here's a Kirby. When they
Oh,
tried to
yeah.
bring back Fin Fang Foom and regular title there. Always liked that name when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Fin Fang Foom.
Yeah, The Living Colossus only lasted for 4 issues in Astonishing Tales.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's see. This thing. DC, but
Great books.
Yeah.
Nice.
Y'all remember that Rowdy Piper movie where he puts on the glasses and he sees things that other
they
people
live.
They live.
Yeah.
So that cover that predates that idea, that concept. Of,
Mhm.
I had some Lois laying out here. I was looking through and putting away. Here she is, clipping Superman's hair like
Yeah.
Samson. Here he is, turning into a tree.
He's putting down roots.
Kind of a scary cover. Madman at large stalking Lois there. I like those shoes she has on there.
Yeah, those are slamming.
Good grief. Wow.
Wow.
There she is, getting ready to get ate by Jaws.
And no
Oh,
suggestion.
yeah.
Notice where they
There.
put the shark
Oh,
at.
yeah.
Exactly. Jeez.
I mean, somebody, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
These guys, I tell you.
Stick it to the comics code.
Have you guys ever seen the graffiti cover? Or the, not graffiti cover, but profanity cover on Ka-Zar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very obvious, but yeah, if you're looking for it, you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, Charlton.
Oh, there you go. That's one of my favorite covers.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a great battle in that issue, too.
Give $3 for it. It's worth
Great
it all the
stuff.
time.
Sam Gladsman. Awesome.
Kind of waiting on Eric to come back. This
He
is
is.
my only free comic book I picked up. Vampirella, Alex Ross.
Mm.
I like Vampirella even. It kind of looked old school to me a little bit. Maybe because it was painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had no idea you liked Vampirella.
The Phantom
I love
Street.
that cover.
Yeah.
Such a great character.
Yes.
Creepy hands over there. I did have another gold key out. He's about to crash the Stingray there.
Huh. Mod wheels.
Looks like a Pontiac Le Mans there, running him off the road.
Yeah, Paulo needs to get some of those.
Yep. Although it's very inaccurate because
No.
there's no way that a GM sedan would ever catch up to a Corvette.
Yeah, this is a reprint, but yeah, you guys know the original.
I've got the original one. I finally bought one. The
I
original
think I
of
seen
that.
yours on a video you did.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's
a
one of
great
my
cover.
favorite covers he did. Yeah.
Well, Paulo, maybe it just needed a tune-up that day.
Yeah, they shoehorned the 455 on the Le Mans. That Corvette is just for show. It's got a 350.
Yeah.
Guess I'll. Yeah, I thought I'd grab a couple of books first, in keeping with the theme of what we've been seeing recently. I
Hey.
love that cover.
Yay. Creepy kid, man.
Yeah.
It's the most
Yeah,
menacing, Barnabas looks on any of them.
But look at that kid. That's creepy.
That's just because he's tangled up in some vines outside of Collinwood. What's creepy about that?
Oh no, it looked like he had pointed ears. It looked like he had pointed ears.
Oh, yeah, he
He
does.
did, kinda.
Yeah, it's a leaf, but it does. It looks like.
Oh, it looked like he had pointed ears from my little screen.
Yeah, I love those.
Yeah, nice.
Pieces.
Very nice.
This might have been the same one that you showed, Jambo, but I wasn't sure. But I figured since Steve was here, I'd
No?
Oh, that's
let
different.
him go as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Let's see, Marvel collector's item classics. I love the ones with the covers on the
Mhm.
covers on the cover.
Yeah.
And
Square bound.
just for the heck of it, I grabbed an Outer Limits.
Oh, there you go. That's neat.
Oh, those are some of my favorites. Yeah.
Now I thought I'd show
Very
a couple of movie sets here, since we were talking about that a couple weeks ago. Cult Camp Classics Volume 3 with Hot Rods to Hell, Skyjacked, and 0 Hour.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Here we have Volume 1 with Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Behemoth.
Our love was at an end. All she did to get her kicks was step on. Oh, I'm sorry, I lapsed into the tubes. Queen of Outer Space and the Giant Behemoth. And then Volume 2 for those who used to have major Hollywood careers. The Cube, Caged, and Trog. And now for something weird. Literally something weird. My old eyes can't see what I'm showing here, but let's see.
Swedish feature.
Terror in the Midnight Sun and Invasion of the Animal People.
Awesome.
Let's see. There's the ghastly ones and or Seeds of Sin. Now, for you late night drive-in fans, how about a double feature of Hitchhike to Hell and Kidnapped Co-ed?
No, you can't go wrong with that one.
Yeah, I can just see myself talking to my wife. Let's watch that, honey.
It's culture, dear.
That's right.
We used to order these on bootleg VHS before they, got fancy and brought out the DVDs and went legit. Here's Dracula the Dirty Old Man, and guess what happened to Count Dracula?
Wow.
Let's see, Carnival of Blood and God, I wish I wasn't red green colorblind. And something else.
Well, that looks interesting.
I'll tell you what, as movies go, they make neat covers.
Mm-hmm.
Booby Trap and The Takers.
Is that a Russ Meyer movie?
Oh, Russ Meyer's way too highbrow for these. I know. Let's see. Alice in Acid Land and Smoking Flesh.
What a combination, man. That's great.
And last, but thank God, Bloodsuckers and Bloodthirst. Now, this one of these might have some gravitas because I do see Peter Cushing's in one of these.
Oh.
But yeah, there's a whole. I mean, there were tons of these something weird videos, and I said most of them are god awful. But every once in a while, you get one that's actually worth watching. But
Yeah.
yes,
They're funny if nothing else.
Yeah, some of them aren't even bad enough to be funny though. They're just bad. but I said they can make even the stupidest, schlockiest movies into a really cool cover presentation, and by the time you watch the movie, you go, man, this sucks. They don't care because they've already got your money.
They got you. Yeah, I remember Robot Monster. I always thought, wow, how cheap is that? They got like a gorilla suit and put a diver's helmet on it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they made a whole movie. They got a lot of people's money out of that. So
So Hans remembers them.
so bad they're good sometimes. That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, those cult classic 3-packs, those actually are entertaining.
Yeah. I need to look for those next time I'm in there.
Well, both Dr. Silverage and Paulo are hanging in there pretty good. I know they.
All right.
Doctor, you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go though, but
and I'm going to take the opportunity to bow out. So I'm going to bed now.
All right. Everything you
for
showed
having
looked
me.
great.
Thanks for having me.
awesome.
Yeah. On the email, I told you that we should do a Wallywood special. See if you can set it up one day, and we'll all talk about Wallywood.
That'd be
Sure.
good.
Sure.
Awesome.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Cool.
Stealing Eric Breen's line. Good night, kids.
All right.
See you,
Good night,
Paulo.
Paulo.
and I'm gonna head out right behind him. But before I went, a while back, you were mentioning when you were talking about the Fred Flintstones and all them guys. You mentioned one of my favorites, which is Touche Turtle, and I just had to show this. It's an
Excellent.
early
Oh, wow.
early Funko Pop bobblehead of Touche Turtle. I love
Oh
this.
man, he's cool.
That is neat. I always liked that cartoon, those little 5-minute cartoons. You know.
Yes.
So yeah, it's
That's
pretty cool. Yeah.
Love his little hat.
They make a new one, but it's more. I don't know. It doesn't look like this. It makes him look like a baby. You know. So I didn't get that
Right.
one, but this one I picked up at a fair once back, probably 20 years ago or something. I don't know.
He's cool.
But, Yeah, I love Touche Turtle. So when you mention that, I'm like, oh, I got to get my little Touche Turtle guy. So, well, I want to thank you again for having me on. It's been great to hang out with all you guys. Had a great time. Learned a lot about Kamandi. Oh, did anybody talk about the animated Kamandi short? Did anybody see that?
Haven't seen it. No, haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet.
No, I saw it and I liked it. I mean, right from the get go, that scene where he's floating past the Statue of Liberty, that's in there, and I'm telling you, it's like hooks you right from the start. It's about 20 minutes long, but it was pretty doggone good. I really enjoyed it. So if you get the chance. If you get the chance, it's on that the JSA movie, animated movie. It's part of that. So
Okay.
That would probably be the only reason I would buy that, is see the Kamandi.
the movie itself wasn't bad. It was pretty good, JSA. Okay. I got to admit, I like that because I'm a JSA fan. But
oh yeah,
I love all those shorts that they do. They whatever the showcase shorts. I mean, they've done Sergeant Rock. They've done Phantom Stranger. They've done the Spectre, which was a really good one. They did Jonah Hex, which was another good one. So I really, I wish they would do animated movies of those characters, not just Batman and Superman.
Oh yeah.
And them, get into some of those other ones, the Creeper, Metamorpho. Get into some of those guys, Metal Man.
Yeah.
But we can only hope.
Absolutely agree.
DC has characters other than Batman? Somebody should tell them.
So, well, Grottu, you showed up just in time to say goodbye.
Well, that's the way it usually is. I'm always late on Wednesday night.
So, but all right, guys, I'm heading out. Great to hang out with you guys again. Hopefully, we'll do it again next Wednesday.
You betcha.
See you then.
All right, take care, buddy.
Bye bye.
Yeah, Bubs was saying in the chat there, Graphic, I don't know if you caught it or not, that, he has a extensive Wally Wood collection of stuff and
okay.
things and stuff. So, yeah, if we do that, get him in here and
all right,
show off some of his junk. He's got some good stuff.
Yeah, you can pass, when I send you a link, you feel free to pass it to him or whatever.
Definitely.
Is that his Christian name, Bub's World?
It is.
Okay, good. I look forward to meeting him. Yeah.
So, yeah, he's a little younger than us.
So would that make him our roving reporter if we've already got a foreign correspondent? Or?
We could say that, yeah.
Well, he could be a what do you call the local guy?
And another Kentuckian, Eric.
He could be a cadet. Fossil.
There you
go.
There's enough Kentuckians now to have. You guys can have your own quartet.
It's surprising how many people from Kentucky are actually on YouTube chatting about comics.
Yeah,
we done figured out how to turn them on and everything.
That's right.
We's smart.
We've got scientific.
Because Jambo, did you done graduate 6th grade too?
I did. I can do my ciphering and my gazentas and all that stuff. Hey, Grottu, how you doing?
Hey, I'm all right. So,
Grottu, did you see the Frankenberry?
I did. Well, yeah, okay. We were eating dinner, and that was really cool. Excellent. Yeah, I've got a lot of the same dystopian 1970s comics that you guys are showing. I've got a complete set of the Planet of the Apes magazines and what else? And I remember Planet of the Vampires from Atlas Seaboard. And was that on Earth or was that some other planet? I can't really remember. And then,
yeah, I don't remember.
But And yeah, and War of the Worlds, the Kill Raven, that was great.
So, Grottu, have you found anything interesting coming in the store this week?
No, not really. There was a lady in there today hunting desperately for the hawk and dove, which was very odd. But I determined that she had fallen in love with them from the TV show, from the Titans TV show. But she knew more about the history of the characters than I did. It's really weird. She cleared out the whole section of Hawk and the Dove.
Nice.
Didn't Dr. Silverage show those last week?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
she was
she's
getting
seen
more
them here.
recent stuff, not the Steve Ditko stuff. The where they're a man and woman, not two guys.
Oh, that's the Liefeld stuff, I think.
Yeah, and then Carl Kessel, who I found out recently couldn't stand Liefeld while they were working together. Yeah. Don't know if there's more to the story. I just knew they couldn't stand each other. He couldn't stand him.
Well, 55 years ago tonight, almost to the very minute, the first episode of Star Trek was ending.
Yes, you're right. Absolutely.
Yes, about, maybe in California, it was about to start in about 15, 16 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
I just
finished up I didn't have this in my memory.
Finally finished the run-up. I've been hunting them down, yeah.
The run of what?
The Gold Key Star Trek run.
Oh, yeah.
I finally finished it.
Did you really? How many issues is that?
61.
Really?
So not a lot, but I mean, yeah.
But towards the end, I'm sure it's difficult to get, right? Towards the end.
There was a few that was kind of hard to find for some reason. I mean, there's a few that every time you go to a comic shop or something, they had Star Trek. It'd be those same issues, so.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is the longer this goes on, the farther back in the rearview mirror those get, and the fewer and farther between that anybody gets.
Yeah.
We could do one of those shows, Micah. You got all the Star Trek stuff over there behind you and everything. So.
Yeah. No one wants to see all them has-been actors. So. I'd rather look at those painted covers you got. So.
Well, Gold Key did a wonderful take on that series with flames shooting out the back of the Enterprise, and it was just wonderful. They were like, they had some reference photos and probably had never seen the TV show, the artist. And
I don't think they did, because in the first few issues they were calling Kirk something else, and I can't remember what they were calling him now, but it wasn't Kirk. So
that's funny that happens, because Byrne got in so much hot water for his depiction of Space 1999 reference material, and they didn't like it. The studios didn't like it, but yet Star Trek can be treated that way by Gold Key, and no one says anything. Right. It's kind of funny to me.
I like that run too, Space 1999.
Oh yeah, it was great. But apparently Byrne had said on his message board that the executives, the TV executives, didn't like his depiction of Colonel Koenig and all them other guys, so they switched artists on him. But flames coming out of the back of the Enterprise, come on.
Even with the greatest artists that they put on the Space 1999 comic or magazine, I don't remember it was it just a magazine, or was it a comic?
Gray Morrow.
Comic
and a magazine.
Right. Okay. So I remember picking up a Gray Morrow cover. You would have thought it would be wonderful, but somehow Charlton made it just an ugly magazine. It just felt like recycled paper, and
yeah.
really killed the whole experience of this great art that was inside of it.
And Gray Martin did the whole thing, which I was really impressed with that. Great cover.
Well, that episode Miri kind of is reminiscent of Kamandi a little bit.
Yeah.
Is that the one where you get the disease?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boy, that's starting to be a little bit apt. There's a lot of Star Trek episodes that are almost like what we're living through. Patterns of Force and Miri.
Yeah. What's the last issue look like?
Let me see. I've got one here. Let me grab it.
By the time it got to the end, they didn't have painted covers. They were pretty horrible looking, as I recall.
Yeah, that's where most of the series go with Charlton and Gold Key.
Yeah.
The covers are not as. No, yeah, that's the last issue, huh?
That's number 61. Yeah.
Wow, I've never seen it before. That's very cool. Never seen that.
60.
I've never seen that.
It's 59. And this was in 1979.
Wow, I never saw him on the stands.
So basically, it ends just before the movie.
Yeah. When was the movie? Was that 79?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got the Power Records set here when you're. Oh my gosh, that looks like lips on the guy.
It does. I always thought it looked like
Like
lipstick.
he had lipstick on.
I never liked that cover because of that. It was like, yeah. But I did like this beast over here. The little
Yeah, that's great.
type
What
creature.
What were they smoking? I always thought that's the greatest logo for Star Trek. If they had any common sense, whoever's making these new Star Trek series, they should use that logo. They used it on some of the toys, as I recall, like the little tracer gun.
$57. It's 56. Elephants in Space. This is the Guardian of Forever over there.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that episode.
City on the Edge of Forever isn't that
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I love that contraption.
Harlan Ellis, I believe, wrote that one. Yeah. There's 55. It's kind of nice.
Oh, that's a nice cover.
Yeah.
See, by then they figured out that flames don't shoot out the back.
Yeah.
I always like the idea of flames in space.
Yeah, they didn't have the warp engines lit up either, so yeah.
Well, is there any possibility they were just having engine trouble in those issues? Yeah, it's Scotty was off panel, so he couldn't get them fixed.
Some of them are pretty good, lead paint. Yeah, some of the stories are pretty good, and some of them are like, a little hokey, but still great old Star Trek. It's a nice
Wow.
Cyclops. So they got to do stuff in the comics that they never did.
They should just adapt these plots for whatever new Star Trek is on now on Paramount.
I really like the animated series. I kind of wish they would do
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, that
again.
was cool. I did enjoy that as a kid.
Today is actually also the anniversary of the premiere of that on September 8th, 73.
Of what?
September 8th, 73 is when the animated series started on Saturday morning.
Okay.
I think you've got this one, don't you, Micah?
Well, I used that.
That's a
I
great
used cover
cover.
art that you saw at
Okay.
the beginning. Yeah.
Number 50.
I could cover to a Cymac book or something.
49. They brought the companion back.
That's cool, showing it upside down.
Yeah, that is neat. I just I just recognized what it was on my phone.
You guys want to see some more? Yeah.
Sure. Tell you what, let Grottu wanted to show a power record. Let me bring him.
Well, it's not my childhood copy. That's why it's in terrible condition and doesn't have the record. But at some point, I must have gotten this at a garage sale, and it's. I'm not sure. I know Neil Adams did the art on some of these. I don't know that it's pretty good art.
Yeah.
When sometimes Power Records, when they did original art, it wasn't too bad.
Is the record with it?
No.
Oh, okay.
All my other Power Records are here, and they're in perfect condition with the records. But yeah, it's not bad.
Did you have Planet of the Apes handy?
Yeah, the best art was in Beneath the Planet of the Apes. Because whatever artist they got, I wish I knew who this artist is, because it doesn't tell us, or does it? No. It's possibly a Filipino artist or something, but the art is really spectacular. Shit. Take the record out here. Sorry about the language there. Anyway, the way the Earth is exploding. But as I remember, as a kid, the way the mutants are depicted once they take their masks off is like right out of EC.
Oh, that's cool.
It wasn't that horrifying in the movie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like really pretty darn cool. The Marvel books, a lot of times they couldn't get the likeness of the ape makeup just right. This does a pretty good job of it. But anyway, if it's not, I'm sure there's some way to research. Maybe it's online. Maybe it'll be easily findable who the artist is. I've always wondered for decades who drew this. Yeah, I've got all the. I think they did all of them except for Conquest, because Conquest was a lot more violent, and in fact, they didn't do Conquest. The edit of Conquest that's on Blu-ray is basically an R-rated cut. You see people getting shot in the forehead and stuff. The art is really pretty remarkable in all these. This is Planet of the Apes. This one. Did you guys have all these when you were growing up?
Oh yeah, they've come in and out of my hands. Now I don't know. I've got a couple left, but none of the Planet of the Apes.
I think
it looks like black light art in a way. Even without the black light, it kind of glows. Yeah. I like the way they're strapped to a table. Then there's escape and battle.
That's cool.
So yeah, those are,
You got those.
oh yeah, let's see if the same what the art's like. Yeah, the art's pretty cool in all of them. It's the vocal work on these book and record sets. You could tell that the actors had never seen the script before and were reading it for the first time, because especially the guy that played the voice of Taylor, and he was, I think, also Captain America, and he was a lot of the hero voices. That guy is like insane. It's like light years more insane than William Shatner. And his delivery. Those Power Records are all available on YouTube. So you can people have synced up the sound to the panels, and so you can just I've got my originals too. I think
my rubber bands are
cool.
getting kind of worn out.
Cornelius's legs are a little gimpy now. I think the rubber. Now there's an almost exact replica on still at Target of Dr. Zayas. I mean, you can tell the difference. Oh, cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah,
she was married to the head of 20th Century Fox, I believe.
Yeah. Probably why she was in there. I mean, she wasn't a great actress, but she was nice to look at. But she didn't have to be.
No.
There's a Crack magazine parody of Planet of the Apes where they show different versions. That was kind of like along the lines of Kamandi, because it's like different variations. Planet of the Dogs, a lot of the things that Kirby did, but it's very creepy because you've got like these dogs that are upright walking Taylor, and it's a pretty good likeness of Charlton Heston, and he's on 4 legs at a fire hydrant. And then there's Nova, I think, is there, and it's very much Kamandi-like, but it's perverse, more perverse than Kamandi. I think Cracked reprinted it about 50 million times over the years, but do you guys remember that?
Not the Crack story.
I wonder if I could conjure it up on the internet. I bet I could. The John Severin art.
Steve, did you have something you were looking through?
Well, I was to kind of add to the theme. I was able to. It was at my fingertips, is what I was. And this, I don't know if anyone's seen this before. It's called The Great Disaster.
We're living it.
I didn't know. I didn't know. Not being on DC lore, but apparently DC led up to the apocalyptic storylines in like Action Comics, Weird War Tales, Strange Adventures, Hercules Unbound, of course, more Strange Adventures. But it all leads up, of course, to the Kamandi books, but it all leads up to the apocalyptic world of DC throughout the Silverage and the Bronze Age in this showcase book. Of course, the Atomic Knights are in. But it's pretty cool because it's got storylines that, it's not, I mean, it's got everything listed here. You don't have to go out and find the issues, obviously, with the showcase issues. But they've got everything from Superman, Hercules Unbound, Strange Adventures is a big one in here. Of course, Kamandi, Hercules, DC Comics Presents 57, Amazing World of DC Comics number 12, and After the Disaster by Paul Levitz is all in this book. So if you see it, it has everything we've been talking about in this one little volume.
Cool.
Pretty thick.
I've never seen that.
Great silencing cover. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to add. It was at my fingertips, so I figured I'd throw that in there.
Well, I don't know how good this is going to show up. But
holy cow.
Cool.
Yeah, you're getting too much glare.
Yeah, you got a lot of them there.
Anyway.
Has Shannon seen that?
I think he said he saw my walkthrough.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
impressive.
Every time I try to show him, it's always blurry. So,
yeah, right.
Camera's not very good, and the lighting in here is not conducive for it.
Yeah.
I grabbed a couple of things to keep in the theme.
There we go.
Well, that we've segued into. Now, this has been, as we know, Star Trek has been released about 6,000 different ways, but I got the seasons in the tricorder packaging.
Ooh, neato.
Yeah, see, if I can do this without the dust choking me out. It pops open, and there they all are.
Yep.
That's neat.
And then since someone mentioned the animated series,
yeah,
Well,
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything.
Those in every once in a while and watch them. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell
I like
I've
when
been
they
watching
slump.
these religiously. I don't even know how to get them open. It's Eric proof. Oh, okay, it just pops open. That's kind of disappointing. Once I thought something. I thought I was at least going to make the tricorder sound or something. Oh well. Okay, so the anticipation exceeded the actual event.
Here's what I was referring to, or one of the images that I was referring to. Apparently, this original art I see was sold in last year. And there's more. Let's see. Yeah, this is like really creepy. This is imagine if Kamandi was like that.
oh dear.
Yeah, this is TV in there. But yeah, that's the original art. It's something's fallen off, So that. Oh, there's more Planet of the Birds. It's right. Let me make it bigger. It's right out of Kamandi, sort of. They're teaching that men bring the babies.
You say that's John Severin work?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's more. Let's see what this page. Oh, Planet of the Horses. Did they do horses on Kamandi? I can't remember.
Nope. There are horses, but they don't stand up and walk.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember that now. Let's see. It just keeps going on. They got Planet of the Skunks, the Dolphins, the Ants. What else? Man, it's like is it the whole magazine? Planet of the Bulls, the Pigs. That's the last page.
Bulls.
One of the Frogs, Cats, and Tigers. And they got the SO. SO was the first word I learned how to read because we were always on the road, and before it was Exxon, it was SO, and that was the first word I was able to read as a little kid. So
Put a tiger in your tank.
Right. Long before there were comic book movies and movies that really captured, some have really captured the feeling of a comic book. The one that I remember seeing it with my older brother before I was able, I think I wasn't old enough to see R-rated movies, but my older brother took me to see it. And I said to him afterwards that movie is just like a comic book, even though it wasn't based on a comic book. And it was The Road Warrior, because I just thought that the tone of it, the pace of it, it's just like the comics that I read. And it's, of course, the dystopian future that, and now Australia is sinking right down almost. And I just thought they're such a tough society. Why are they standing for this? But I guess it's in their DNA. They started as prisoners, a prison colony, and they're just, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Road Warrior I thought was very, very comic book like. And then now we've actually been treated to a lot of, I mean, they're getting horrible now, but for a while we got comic book movies that we never dreamed we were ever going to get. You have to admit.
Yeah.
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 I mean,
Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Could you have dreamed that a movie like that would have existed when you were a little kid? Or,
yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, the thing about Iron Man alone, just watching him fly around those jets, just takes my breath away every time I watch it. I mean, I'm a big Iron Man fan. When I was a kid, I'd never even imagined seeing something like that,
Yeah, there are
seeing that.
movies where you just have tears in your eyes. You just can't believe you're seeing this. This is what you always wanted to see. And then there's movies where you have tears in your eyes because you just paid, $12 to see it. But
for me, it was the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Being old enough to have watched the Nicholas Hammond, swinging on a string version.
Oh yeah.
To see what they did with that was my first true holy bleep moment watching a comic.
And then the second one was even better.
Oh, it was amazing because the effects had progressed. Now, and this is why I give Disney, Marvel Studios originally credit that they made sure to cast the alter ego instead of the hero, because no one's impressed by graphics anymore. In fact, we tear them apart. You go, any college student with a MacBook can do this. So getting Robert Downey Jr. instead of some Dolph Lundgren type to play, that's it's a
good point.
And surprisingly, in the first Iron Man, there wasn't much CGI. There it was a lot. Most of it was practical effects, and I think it's CGI, but it really wasn't. The more you can get away with practical effects, the better, I think.
No, agreed.
I thought Downey Jr. did a really good job on that movie too. I wasn't expecting that, but I thought he did a really good job in the first movie.
And I was shocked when the first X-Men movie came out, because everything leading up to it made you think it wasn't going to be very good, and then it really managed to get the tone of the comic, and basically, they changed the outfits and everything, but it's like, wow, they got the jet coming out from under a tennis court. They've got these characters that really, Hugh Jackman, the first one. Then the second one, like with Spider-Man, was even better. It's like, of course, we expect so much now but you got to remember what that was like to see that then.
Oh, yeah.
People expected Hollywood would give you anything close to what the comic was, or care to do it.
Yeah.
No, and I think originally, especially with the X-Men costumes, Spider-Man, you had to use his costume. I mean, there's no getting around that. But I think originally it's almost like they were maybe just a little bit embarrassed, if that's the right word, of having these being comic book characters, so they wanted to make them look like maybe not. And then I thought that once the MCU started, they kind of embraced that more, or as much as they could. I mean, some outfits just aren't practical on an actual person. I mean, they're better off in animation.
Yeah.
But for the Iron Man suit, I thought was very well done. The Hulk's pants. But no, they made and my only gripe is Hawkeye should have had a mask.
I agree.
Yeah. But I guess I think that had less to do with them being comic accurate and more to do with, we wanted people to be able to see Jeremy Renner's face.
Yeah. That's usually what it is, because you want the star to be able to act.
Because you notice Chris Evans didn't have his mask on as much as possible too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that second Judge Dredd movie worked just fine, and we kept it on the whole time. And when Sylvester Stallone couldn't wait to take it off, and it ruined the movie, because all of a sudden it was Sylvester Stallone. It wasn't this mysterious character anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Carl Urban said that he was going to take the mask off. He read the script and knew the character, and he said he's keeping his mask on, and that's what he did when it turned out phenomenal.
Yeah.
Jambo, you can make your own enterprise with this handy
that's
little.
Cool.
So inside is everything you need, and you just cut it all out.
All right.
And you put it together.
Huh.
That is cool.
And then you hang it from your ceiling.
How old is that?
Wow, it's a first printing. How about that?
Nice.
No date.
Is it pre-movie? Is it the rounded?
Oh no, it's probably only 10 or 20 years old.
Oh,
There it is, 1997. Okay.
oh, okay.
So,
Oh, because it says the original series. Yeah, okay.
right. And surely you guys got this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's awesome movie.
It
Al
reprints,
Williamson artwork, right?
yeah, reprints the Gold Key books. So
Yeah.
I tell you, I loved this movie.
That movie was phenomenal. I love that film.
So earlier we had some Flash Gordon.
Max von Sydow made a very good Ming. He looked a lot
Oh,
like
agreed.
the original actor.
Yeah.
He played the part from way back in the day of the serial.
Hmm.
Well, that was his name, Taika Waititi, or I don't remember how
I
it's
couldn't
titled.
remember. Yeah, I couldn't remember his name.
The guy that did that vampire movie and Thor Ragnarok is doing a Flash Gordon sequel based on that. But I'm sure that the current political culture will eliminate Ming or change his name. Or
Jackson, I loved that. I loved
yeah, that was good.
That whole series, and the art was fabulous. Every now and then, looked like Ming was cutting a deal with the Nazis. I'm probably not supposed to say that N word. So,
well, that is on YouTube. Unless it's been taken down, it was there for years. The original movie that never aired, at least it didn't air it in the United States. It was called Flash Gordon: The Ultimate Adventure or something, and it was with the Nazis, and it had Hitler teaming up with Ming. And then they never showed that, and then they just started with a Saturday morning cartoon and used bits of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's still on YouTube. But yeah, it's never been seen. I don't think. Maybe it was released on VHS. I don't know. Let me check here.
But around that time, I had the great Tarzan cartoon.
And the Lone Ranger.
And I loved those. Those were outstanding.
Yeah.
But you guys have seen the 1966 Lone Ranger cartoon?
Yeah. In fact, you showed it on one of your tribute videos.
It's insane because he's fighting monsters and supernatural menaces, and they're really monsters. It's not like Scooby-Doo where they turn out to be not real.
But the art in that you showed was really good.
It's real dark and moody. Yep. Let me check here. There were toys that were made based on the animated series, The Flash Gordon, that were really cool, and I've never seen them in the flesh. I think there's a giant spaceship that's like a dirigible, and I think it's inflated. Have you ever seen those?
I haven't, no, but I've seen some of the figures.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, they were really trying to market Flash Gordon. It didn't work. And that movie was not a big hit. I mean, it was with us, and it's what inspired Alex Ross to do what he does, is that one movie. But it didn't make a lot of money. But now, of course, it's revered. Looking on. Oh, wow.
So, Jambo, you're going to get the Marvels next?
I've got all of them but two. But there's only 18 of them. So I'll finish those up next.
Do you remember which one you need?
I don't. I've got my list here somewhere. And I needed 2 issues of it.
I just checked. The Flash Gordon movie is on YouTube. It's in 9 parts. Looks like it's from a VHS tape. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, I like that a lot. I bought that off the stands. I still have my copy. I'm a big fan of Dave Cockrum, so anything he did, I bought.
DC tried to do a Star Trek also before they got the rights to do the real Star Trek. Was it called Monarch or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've got the Peter Pan book and record from the first movie.
Yeah, show us. I like it.
That's neat.
I've got these Whitman.
They made that one into one of the Dynabrites.
Yeah. That is a Denibrite.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh, yeah, it is. I see yeah.
It says Whitman too, so I wasn't sure who did. I'm thinking there was only the 2 of these, I believe.
Is that a coronavirus there in the center?
It's like it, don't it?
Yeah, that was number 3.
Was there 3 of them?
Now we're on 19. No, I mean, never mind. It's a lousy joke. Corona.
That showed escaping from the lab.
Yeah.
So I'm missing something there for a second.
August, this doesn't ring any bells.
No,
Maybe
I never read that either.
Jambo might know this one.
I've seen a couple of crossovers. I've seen the one where they team up with the X-Men.
Hey, that one has an Andorian on it.
Mm-hmm. It's number 48. It's from 1977.
Nice.
Jambo, was there a gap between issues at some point? Because didn't they start in the when did the series start?
It started in 69.
So was it just bi-monthly the whole time, or was there a gap between like the issue whatever and the next one?
I'm thinking there was a gap because I mean it went all the way up to 79.
Yeah,
was I think the last year. It's number 45. They reused this same cover. This is actually the same cover of number 7. So
Gold Key did that sometimes. They'd start a comic right as the show was going off the air.
the rights get cheaper.
And Dark Shadows was printed long after the show stopped airing.
they're riding some kind of ostrich creatures there and a camel.
That's a neat cover, though.
It's 43. It's 42.
Oh, shit.
Wow, that's a cool
I showed
cover.
that one last time when I got it. Yeah, it's a crying baby there. I think that was kind of like the Naked Time episode where they getting younger. $40.
Watch out for that first step.
That's McCoy's daughter there.
Hmm.
It's like Dr. Fauci on there.
It's 38.
Where the droplets.
Okay.
You know, they should have hired the artists that painted these covers to do the production art on the last 6 or 7 Star Wars movies, because this is far superior to anything in those prequels or those Disney sequels. I mean,
It's like the Enterprise is venting something there. Kind of weird. Some kind of rainbow gas in space there.
like chemtrails, right? They're vaccinating a planet.
Trying to find out how many Marvel I'm missing.
Yeah, but Grottu, they didn't get everybody vaccinated, and everybody on the next planet over died. So,
You know, the gold key, or once you have the gold key set, you don't need to really worry so much about the Marvel and DC.
I got, I'm missing number 9 and number 11 of the Marvel series. There's
Ooh.
my favorite.
Oh,
movie right
nice.
there.
That's cool.
There's a Katie Keene cover that simulates
Yes.
that.
Yeah, that's very cool too. I don't want to hog up all the time. There's some nice looking covers in there, Micah. Oh, yeah.
Did you guys see Night Tiger Comics video from a couple of days ago?
I did, yeah.
Like, what? My God. I was thinking this has to be a War of the Worlds kind of hoax or something. This can't be real. He was getting these pre-code horror books for 90 cents each.
Yeah, I saw that Charlton he got. Amazing.
That Harvey Witch's Tales. You got a Dick Briefer Frankenstein comic, all for 90 cents each. And
The
a
guy
big
Ridiculous
said had him
thing.
in a bag or something like that, and he offered him $30 for the whole bag or something like that. Yeah. Crazy.
That's amazing. There's people out there that just don't have any idea what this stuff is, I guess, luckily.
Oh, that's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, those planets are amazing.
Is this something that Guandanaland reprinted?
Yeah, probably.
I think they did, yeah. The
Well,
Planet
the
Comics.
PS Art Books did color reprints of the entire, I believe, the entire run, because there's
They
14. There's 14 volumes, so they got close.
I don't
And
think they wound up in,
Half Price Books has had them at different points in time, because I have about 10 or 11 of them.
okay. You have Half Price Books in Kentucky, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I got those ones that I showed you a while back.
Right.
But yeah, those PS Art books to buy new are expensive, but they said, yeah, as you know from the ones you picked up, I mean, they're basically the same stuff as the ones that we've been picking up. They were $12.99. I think the first volume, there were so many of them, they were selling those for $8.
Huh.
Did they reprint the ads in those too?
Give me a second. I've got a couple in the next room. I'll go grab one and let's see. Hang on.
I actually might have some too and don't even know it. It's horrible.
Yeah, you got a whole shelf of them.
Yeah, because that's the thing is I want the ads too, because that's to me a big part of the comic book experience. I wish Guandanaland reprinted ads.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only bad thing about those is, yeah, they don't have the ad pages. And maybe they just couldn't get permission for some of that. I don't know.
Oh, it seems like all those companies are defunct.
You would think they'd be long gone, but
And when he reprints the monster magazines, he reprints the ads, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like Breen's back. We've all been looking on our watch waiting. So
Oh,
That is a yes.
wow.
hey, look at that.
Cool.
And we'll say this is what they look like, and
Yeah.
the cover gallery on the back.
That
And-
cover that they reproduce on the front looks like Dave Stevens' art.
Yeah, so
So does it reproduce 7 or 8 books?
This one has 7. So this one's 60 through 66, and I think there's a volume 14. I think it lasted about 72 issues, so they might have finished.
So because they were bigger books, that's a little bit bigger than a masterwork, which would only give you 10 issues of Silverage. That's a pretty good chunk of Golden Age right there.
Yeah, I mean, and it reproduces the house ads.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
So yeah, these are great.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
I haven't seen any of these out of half price books in a while, and I probably should have grabbed all of them while I had a chance, because don't like my chances of finding the ones that I missed. But you never know.
Those photos you were pulling up earlier, Micah, that had all the book covers in them. It had the Black Hole comic.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
in there. What did you guys think of that movie? Did you like
Loved it.
I liked
Loved it.
I mean, it was out about the same time as Star Wars and stuff, so.
Was
if
it
you
about
judge it
8?
by those standards?
79?
Yeah.
It was an odd movie because it was Disney, but it was PG. And then I remember watching it, and it felt like a movie from 20 years before.
Yes.
It had an old-fashioned feel, but then it had the Star Wars kind of robots in it. And then they threw this ending at you where they, I guess, wind up in hell.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
And it just was odd. It felt like they were trying to be like Star Wars, but they were still stuck in 1960 because the stars were all the stars from the late 50s, early 60s. I really enjoyed the movie, but it felt very odd because it just was strange. It felt strange. It's the feeling I remember coming away from it with.
So the first 2 are the movie, and then
the last issue's crazily priced. Very hard to find. And
they basically get. This is like what the second movie would be like if they ever made a second movie. And yeah, I can't. I got the scans for this one, but I can't find number.
Yeah, they want like hundreds and thousands of dollars for that book. It came in a 3-pack apparently.
Well, then, since this is issue number 4, one of the other books was missing out of the 3-pack. Like 2, 3, and 4, or
I don't know. It came with. I don't know what it came with. I just know that's why it's so hard to find. It came in these.
Oh,
3-pack.
I see. Yeah.
It's a crazy amount of money. I've only seen one, and it was like $900.
Goodness.
You think they would have gave the old robot a makeover or something? Gave him some new parts. He's still beat up looking in that.
Yeah. Oh, Vincent.
And I don't think I've seen that movie since back then.
There's an oldie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The one and only. Had a great font, but I wish there was an issue 2. So the next time you see that, it's the TV show, the Jill Gerard.
Yeah. I have some of those of the TV show, but yeah, I didn't have that one.
Mystery in Space. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They got them. Well, gentlemen, we're doing pretty good time-wise. I don't know of anything else we should cover tonight. I think it was a star-studded cast. Appreciate everybody coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I see you upgraded to 10. I saw we had 7 at one point. So
yeah, I thought I'd do a little extra streaming this month, and Just I seem to have some good time off. And,
Yeah, I was thinking.
yeah, you'll notice the little duck's not there.
Yeah. I was thinking, how did you get 7 people? I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I know you were playing the percentage and figured that natural selection would keep it down to 6, but we just keep growing.
Yeah. And Maya Greenblatt and Captain Strangelove were considering jumping in. So
There's more fossils out there than what we thought.
it would have been a full house with Gold Key. And in December, Shannon says he's going to have a night off every now and then. So, yeah.
Well, it could
These
be
good
like
people.
You won't be able to get a word in edgewise.
that Friday night show that Nerdrotic does where there's like 30 people. It'd be
Yeah.
like that.
And saying nothing. I kid.
I just a lot of people.
Yeah. Now Gary's a good guy. I've actually met him. When he was a lot smaller than he is now. But, hey, Jambo, are you stopping by Lexington this weekend?
Yes.
I will not be there, but I sent 3 boxes of some of the stuff that I've been showing, like with the Mavericks and whatnot. Be sure to check those out. In about 6 boxes of that stuff that I've marked down between 1 and 5. So that's my contribution to the cause.
Yeah, I'm going tomorrow. Actually, Bubs is going to be over there with me. We're going to go check it out and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Tomorrow's the main comic day. I think the first day of it, so we're going to check it out. Always look for Paul at the cons around here in the area, man, because I always ended up buying a bunch of books from him. And
yeah, you won't see him again, but
yeah.
But like I said, his son-in-law has picked up the mantle and he's excelling at it. So it's
good.
He's got all of Paul's best qualities.
Right.
Yeah. No, so I love Paul dearly, but he could be one cantankerous son of a buck, and Mark has none of that. So, but what he doesn't have is Paul's ability to tell old timey stories. So that's gone, unfortunately. But it's.
So Bubs is the one that's in Kentucky.
Yeah.
We're all in Kentucky.
Yeah. And Grottu, Steve, and I'll move there.
Yeah.
I think we saw a house that was I don't think it was in Kentucky. I think it was in West Virginia, and we were falling in love with the house. And then we looked at the floodplain, the flood factor, and it was like a 10 out of 10. So it's like a block from the Mississippi River, and it's like, oh I don't want floods aren't good when you collect paper products.
The one you were looking at that was attached to the movie theater, but you said it was too much work to get it.
Yeah, that wouldn't have worked out. But we're seeing some cool things in Iowa and what was the other place? I don't think she's screaming. She doesn't want me telling where they are.
Well, she's watching this, and she doesn't want us showing up at your door.
Well, no, I don't mind that. I don't think she wants to be bought out from under us by some fan in the audience or something. I heard a shriek from downstairs.
Well, guys, we'll pull the plug here, and hopefully you all can join us next time. And I may stream one day this week as well. I think Paulo's got a bunch of stuff he wants to show me, but him and I can go on a little earlier so that he doesn't, have to stay up till 2:00 every morning.
Yeah. What is next Wednesday's theme? So I could maybe try to pull books.
I don't have any. Technically, we could do more Kamandi, but what did one of those requests was Mystery in Space?
Okay.
And Wally Wood.
Yeah, that's right. You guys got a lot of that stuff?
I got a lot of Wally Wood and Mystery in Space.
Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, apparently the dog must have bitten my wife. That's why she was screaming.
Oh,
Me Minchty. Shit.
Yep.
She's it's the dog's. Yeah. Shit.
All right. Well, how about DC Sci-Fi? That would cover a lot of the Wally Wood. It would also cover Mystery in Space.
That's
But
great.
that way you're not limited to those two. You could like Strange Adventures or any of the other. Yeah, just whatever you got laying around. That's
There's a
always
great
fun.
one where aliens are watching Richard Nixon. I don't remember what comic that was.
I think I remember that one. Yes, Strange Worlds, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, I'll title it "Fossils in Space." How's that?
All right.
Yeah, Jambo, I said you have to do a little show and tell with what you picked up. What you pick up?
I will be looking for space comics now, I think.
Yeah, you guys should see the Gray Man on Saturday. They all go looking for specific, like they went for covers that had skulls on them.
Oh yeah, I saw part of that.
And so I show up and I start rooting for Jambo. That's a great book, and all the other guys are getting a little mad, like, wait a minute. Yeah, go over there and do a upvote for Jambo, and they'll start to realize that Jambo's got a bunch of groupies showing up. So,
We had a guy doing that at one time there. Yeah,
Oh, really?
He was having a lot of like his girlfriend or wife, and then some of her friends, and
just in case anybody gets the wrong idea, I threw one or two votes for the Gray Man. It was his birthday after all, so
right.
Well, when I was in first and second grade, I only bought comics that had skulls on the cover or skeletons. It seemed like. So I have the original
Probably have a lot
appearance of Ghost Rider because
Oh, it's fun.
in all the Ghost comics and
Jambo, how much advance warning do you have of what the subject is?
At the end of the program, he spins a wheel, and we decide what the next week's subject is. And I'm trying to remember what it was now. I don't remember what it was.
You have to go watch it again.
Yeah, ended up winning. I did. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll have to watch it again. I don't remember what it was. So, yeah.
Okay.
Trying to think, and I can't remember what it was. So, oh well.
Well, does he have a category? Show the best Vampirella cover.
No. They get mad at me because I show a lot of girly covers and stuff like that. It always seems to get a lot of votes,
Yeah.
People like them, so yeah, they get a little frustrated with me. I'll show some Vampirella or Betty Page or something like that, and they're like, "Oh no, man." Okay.
Either one of them ever go to space so you can sneak those in next week?
Both of them did. Betty was in space in one of the digest books, I think, and Vampirella, yeah, I think she's been in space a couple times. So,
well, I know she started there, but yes,
yeah, Jackson's on there. Jackson knows. Jackson Roy Kirk.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see a bunch of you there next week, next Wednesday, 8 Eastern. And thank you all for showing up. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, guys.
Great to see you, Steve.
Guys, live long and prosper.
All right. Well said.
Paula stole my goodbye, so I'll just say
adios.